His name was ShowMaker because he wanted to make a show.
Is now Canyon trying to keep them in his jungle. ShowMaker picking them off like fish in a barrel.
ShowMaker, if there is one play that he can find to win a game, he will get it.
Does not roll target. Ning goes in. Finally gets one, but ShowMaker gets an instant reply. Now the Shy gets blown up by ShowMaker.
I think you can compare play styles between Faker and ShowMaker.
She will not go out quickly. Now ShowMaker leaping in. Oh, baby, not the next Faker. ShowMaker popping off.
ShowMaker, you gotta love him. This guy is incredible, has the personality, and he is truly a superstar in League of Legends today.
Hey everyone, before we get into the story of ShowMaker, we wanted to let you know that we've partnered up with the wonderful folks over at Predator Gaming to put together the ultimate holiday gift guide to give you that gift-spiration you've been looking for. Yes, gift-spiration is a real thing, as of now. Let's get into it. Since the pandemic turned me into a large house cat, I've been trying to get back into running. But let me tell you, it's not easy. Seriously, I ache like everywhere. One of the things that makes it more bearable though is a set of good headphones that won't slip out of my ears while I'm running. That's why I want to get my hands on the latest AirPods. They've got clever things like spatial audio and they're sweat resistant, which means they're much less likely to fall out of my weirdly shaped ears. Next, I'm looking to upgrade my monitor. It's a big decision because let's be real, there's no point having a high-powered PC if your screen just sucks. That's why I've got my eyes set on the Predator 27-inch monitor from the XB3 series. Seriously, it doesn't get better than this for me. We're talking 2560 by 1440 resolution. The refresh rate comes in at 165 Hz and no space is wasted with its edge-to-edge screen. For me, there's just no point upgrading anything else in my setup until I get this monitor. It just makes everything else look better. A bit like me. I'm kidding. Not really. So I've been playing acoustic guitars now for about 10 years and finally I'm looking to get my hands on my first ever electric guitar, specifically one of Yamaha's Pacifica guitars. Everything I read about them says they're well made and have a really great sound to them. If I could get my hands on one of these, I would be very happy. My neighbours, not so much. Well, there we go. That's my holiday wish list. Are you feeling gift-spired yet? Thanks again to our friends over at Predator Gaming, and don't forget to check out the Predator 27-inch monitor from the XB3 series, available at your local Best Buy. And with that, let's get back into the story of ShowMaker.
Ever since the early days of StarCraft, South Korea has been an esports powerhouse. They had the talent, the discipline, and the money to set them up for success. And it was apparent in League of Legends, maybe more than any other game, with the region claiming championships at Worlds for 5 years straight.
Basically, Korea had solved the game. They knew where to go, they knew how to prepare, and you could have infinite wards, is what it felt like. And so therefore, they had all of the information that they could ever want. They understood exactly when to make plays, and from a tactical standpoint, knew exactly what decisions to make at a lot of different times.
2017 was a battle between two South Korean giants, Samsung Galaxy and SK Telecom T1, that saw the GOAT himself, Faker, reduced to tears after a devastating Grand Finals defeat. It was that very moment that inspired an up-and-coming mid laner, who we now know as ShowMaker, to truly start taking the game seriously.
그때 좀 엄청 인상 깊었던 것 같고 꼭 내가 나중에 프로가 되면 진짜 다 이겨야겠다 그런 생각을 하게 된 것 같아요, 그 장면을.
As an 18-year-old rookie, inspired by League's greatest player, ShowMaker entered the pro scene as part of Damwon Gaming, and was instantly a bit of a standout due to his aggressive playstyle.
ShowMaker was a Katarina main and just played reckless, crazy League of Legends. His name was ShowMaker because he wanted to make a show.
This is what's going to happen. See you later, Battle Comics says. Well, the rest of you are going to go down. A double kill goes to ShowMaker.
Does a lot of damage, though, to all the champions. Beryl is getting in there. He is going to go down in the end, and everybody dodges it. But look at the Galio damage on the top side. This is what I'm talking about. There's the Proto Belt onto an Urgot. I thought that guy was supposed to have help. I guess not.
ShowMaker's got an AoE Veigar ultimate with this Q. It just goes and deletes people wherever they stand. 800 damage for you and you and you.
While ShowMaker and Damwon finally made it from Challengers into the LCK in 2018, the year had been less memorable for Korean League fans on the international stage. China had dominated that Worlds, and so pressure was mounting for a Korean comeback in 2019. But the tried and tested super teams, aiming to reclaim South Korea's league glory, weren't the only ones to watch.
In terms of individual talent, you really can't go too much further when it comes to informed solo queue players than Damwon Gaming, and just like all the whispers over the offseason of how well they're doing in scrims, the question should be less about are they going to be our next champions and how will undoubted talent leap off the page and really perform on the professional level.
Damwon, who were quite unlike their compatriots, drew a lot of attention. And it wasn't just ShowMaker who did things differently.
The version of League of Legends that was the best here in Korea was slow, methodical, and just steamroller destruction of your opposition. And that's not really how it works. Even though Damwon do look like a steamroller sometimes, it's a different way of playing, and they leverage control earlier, and it looks like they're, playing with more reckless abandon, but I think for us, it's mainly just because we don't have much experience with that.
They have to assume something's up as everybody's coming around the corner, but ShowMaker is able to dance around it. But that Featherstorm able to come out and huge AoE damage comes in from the entire side of Damwon, and they clean up the rift.
But it wasn't just Damwon's explosive plays that was making them fan favorites. They weren't like the typical methodical stone-faced Korean League of Legends teams of the past, and no one reflected that more than ShowMaker.
His emote game is just top-notch. The guy knows exactly when to troll his opponents. He is always ready with a Teemo thumbs up whenever he gets a solo kill. It's out of control.
No, this is absolutely going to be game. They have 4 members remaining, and that's going to end T1's blue side streak. You phony?
Entering Worlds 2019, Damwon had a lot of hype behind them, and in the group stage of his first ever appearance in the competition, ShowMaker proved why it was warranted.
Beryl may be overstepped as the fight continues. There's the solo player coming in, but the quickness is going to follow as well. The equalizer comes down, knocked back into the wall. First blood to Rainbow, but Damwon are not done with the fight yet. Beryl on the front line, the Featherstorm coming out, Nuguri forced back, but here comes ShowMaker, the dive in from Nuclear. That's 2 quick kills for Damwon Gaming.
Beryl is around, here comes the dive in, top of this one, looking at the kill, double up out of the wave, and a nice spike comes through. Good pickup there for Canyon. Nuclear on the chase, finds first blood. ShowMaker in for number 2, and Damwon step right back in.
Sombrero, the hammer knocks Noguri backwards. Rookie holds onto the trigger for now, gets the shockwave only onto Canyon, but the shock blast does not find target. Ning goes in, finally gets one, but ShowMaker gets an instant reply. Now the Shy gets blown up by ShowMaker, who is putting on a show. Rookie has no mana, and he holds on to the flash. Triple for ShowMaker.
But unfortunately for ShowMaker and Damwon, after finishing ahead of the defending world champions IG in groups, their run came to an end in the quarterfinals against G2 Esports.
It may not have been the cleanest series, but it certainly was a G2 series. And as they move in and as they close the game, they will knock Damwon Gaming out of the tournament, and G2 will move on to the semifinals.
In the wake of Worlds, Damwon finished a disappointing 5th in the 2020 LCK Spring Split, prompting them to replace Nuclear with Ghost for the summer, and his arrival made a massive impact on the team's performance. At the same time, ShowMaker's playstyle was also evolving to resemble Faker's, right down to the champions he picked, such as LeBlanc and Syndra, but with his own hyper-aggressive flair thrown into the mix.
Is that ShowMaker, if there is one play that he can find to win a game, he will get it. Right? Like, if he needs to execute, or if he needs to, like, assassinate one specific target, then he will find that play.
And while ShowMaker's gameplay style drew obvious comparisons between him and Faker, it was far too early to put them in the same conversation.
I think you can compare playstyles between Faker and ShowMaker, but you can't compare careers or I don't think you're allowed to compare anyone to Faker. I think it's just unfair on the person you're comparing them to.
Still, domestically, Damwon were putting up amazing results, and ShowMaker in particular was truly putting on a show.
This barrel gets taken down extremely low. The Dragon's actually helping out as ShowMaker gets rid of the Trundle, so there are no smites for this particular fight. Moonlight Vigil goes absolutely wide. Noguri flashes forward. Triple kill instantly. I thought they nerfed the AoE on the Battlestar. In goes ShowMaker. Gets into his Shroud. He's going to get executed. And it's going to be Akali that locks down the Dragon. There's the perfect execution. I love watching this guy's Akali. Quadra kill, and Chovy's like, no, I'm back to the mid lane. But the Heimerdinger who gets away, and now the TP's coming in. Nuguri trying to get this as ShowMaker coming in from behind, trying to make this a fight, and he is doing so much as Keria can't quite keep up, and he's going to be able to get that kill on the Chovy.
Because of the global pandemic, the fast approaching Worlds 2020 was doubly important. It wasn't just Damwon's opportunity to avenge last year's loss, but also the first International League of Legends LAN that year.
Expectations are high, naturally, for Damwon. I think the last year they struggled against G2 in that best of 5, but they've been very vocal in many interviews about how they wanted to get back to Worlds. They want to be able to prove themselves, and they definitely want to get revenge against G2 esports specifically. How can you not be excited? They have been incredibly dominant.
So when the time came for Damwon to give G2 a taste of their own medicine, they served it out with a ladle.
For ShowMaker and for Damwon Gaming, this is personal. This, of course, is a translated quote, but he wants to crush G2 into pieces as soon as possible. He said that. He wanted them to beat Genji. He said, screw LCK guaranteed in the final. Give me that rematch. Oh my, ShowMaker!
Salt the wound!
Oh no, that is BM. Damwon Gaming, though, set their sights on the Nexus. Damwon Gaming set their sights on the final. They look to G2, they take their time with it, but they sweep aside the LEC, and for the first time in 3 years, the LCK will advance to the World Final.
The matchup ended with G2 taking the fastest loss in Worlds history. Damwon's revenge had been sweet. They were the new generation of Korea's league talent, and they were about to prove that it was their way or the highway.
To start us down, and I think the ShowMaker Shockwave did not really do much. Hwangfeng is taken out in the backside of the fight, and SOFM will respawn only to die and watch his Nexus explode. Damwon strike first in finals. Minions are still hammering away on the Nexus start. The exhaust will slow down the inevitable deaths, but not the ace. Will not stop and save the base. Damwon are 1 win away from being crowned world champions. Damwon will silence Shanghai, and Damwon Gaming are your season 2020 world champions.
After Damwon won Worlds 2020, it looked as if Korea was back on top. But just a couple of weeks after the team's defining victory, Nuguri, who'd been ShowMaker's partner in crime, left Damwon for FPX.
It was definitely a big shock when Nuguri left Damwon, because everyone had been talking about how him and ShowMaker were just like this power couple, you know? They just kind of clicked. That team just seemed to work. And when he left for FPX, everyone was wondering, okay, is that it then for ShowMaker? Is he done? Is he going to be like half his normal power now without his partner in Nuguri?
But doubters and naysayers aside, ShowMaker's star still blazed so bright, not even K-pop idols could resist.
한번 해주세요. 봐봐, 귀여워.
감사합니다.
Early 2021 put the question of whether ShowMaker could go on without Nuguri to rest, and the answer was a resounding, definitive yes.
That had question marks around Khan. He's had a great tournament this time as well. Seems to have fit in to Nuguri's shoes quite effectively. As now Damwon, they are going to take down the Nexus pretty slowly. I think they'll look for a couple more kills. As ShowMaker, yeah, some hold position as he looks to try and take down Richie. Goes into his Zhonya's for a little bit, but unfortunately ShowMaker unable to get above that 8.6 that we gave him earlier on, but still a very good Yone performance. And congratulations to Damwon Gaming, now Kesper Cup 2020/21 champion. The Nexus is now ShowMaker is going to go golden. That's a big pulverize, but it's not onto the Victor. Life going to get burned down by the Death Ray. Ruler in a bit of trouble. Canyon is going to stun him up, and ShowMaker takes the kill. Canyon was down to like, what, 1 health?
All right, well, congratulations for your series MVP, Canyon. The Nexus falls down, and Damwon Kia get the 3-0 over Gen G and will be your spring LCK champions.
A hiccup at MSI aside, Damwon looked poised to become two-time world champions, especially after their smashing performance during the LCK Summer Split, where ShowMaker came face-to-face with his idol in the Grand Finals.
저의 청킬이 페이커 선수를 솔로킬로 마무리하도록 하겠습니다. 웬만하면 청킬에 대한 희생양이 되고 싶진 않고요. 준비를 단단히 하고 갈 것 같아서 쉽게 죽진 않을 것 같아요. 먹잇감이 진짜로 결승에 왔기 때문에 가볍게 먹도록 하겠습니다.
We're 3 minutes into the game, and Faker might just die to the turret, although ShowMaker's just gonna laugh at him. Lands it, throws up the thumbs up, and that's it for Faker over here. It's gonna be able to take him down, and look at this Renekton, he can't get the kills under the turret! The Jinx lives, and Viego still around.
Bot push is hitting the base as well during this.
Oh man, they're just running through the turret and they will blow up Owner. It's like a freight train right now. They're taking down everything in their path. Looks like this is gonna be it, guys. Game number 4 is gonna go the way of Damwon. They just have to hit the Nexus. And Damwon Kia will be your champions of LCK Summer 2021 in a devastating 3-1 victory.
As exciting as it was for ShowMaker to beat his hero en route to claiming his 3rd LCK title, there was still work to be done if he was ever going to catch up to Faker and build his own legacy. And a second Worlds win would be a crucial part of that puzzle. Even though Damwon looked a bit different this time around, the team's Worlds winning formula wasn't solely reliant on the ShowMaker and Nuguri combo. Canyon was still around, and the way he and ShowMaker synergized in-game was a sight to behold.
ShowMaker, I think, is the best facilitatory mid laner in the world. And the way that he works with Canyon is so beautiful.
Kills. And the realm warping.
Poor Kana, man. He just can't catch a break. This is Rise and Trundle. How about Camille? How about all 3 of them get in there and bully? He's just gonna burn down to the Ignite as Khan. He doesn't have to look at the explosion. He know he got the kill.
You can't really talk about ShowMaker without talking about Canyon, because either of them alone would not be as good as they are combined.
DK absolutely demolished every opponent on their way to the Grand Finals of Worlds 2021, not losing a single game until their best of 5 against T1, which they still ended up winning 3-2.
They're gonna TP top as well. They have the Elder Dragon, they have a wave, they have everything they need to go to the World Finals.
And damn old legends and old legacies. Goodbye, Faker. Goodbye, T1. Hello, Damwon and ShowMaker. They will defend their title in the finals and look to go back to back.
For every question T1 posed, Damwon had an answer. Game 5 was incredible from them, never allowing the Aphelios, the Azir, to take effect, never allowing them to find that fight. T1 forced into a no-win situation where they have to hard engage, but they don't have the tools to do it. The new era of the LCK has well and truly arrived, as it is Damwon standing above the rest.
Damwon and EDG, first seeds of their respective regions, were set to face each other in the Grand Finals. Damwon had a nearly flawless run and were the defending champions, so they entered as favorites. But EDG didn't get the memo.
Edward Gaming absolutely wiping the floor with our former world champions. They make sure they finish the job before they finish off the Nexus.
First blood had been drawn by the Chinese team, but Damwon responded emphatically.
To get that single tire close to you, or...
There's the ultimate. Kiana goes right into the wall, and that is indeed a supreme display of talent. ShowMaker going golden, but can he actually stay alive after the fact? The supreme display of talent says absolutely yes, as Damwon Kia, they will rout EDG. That's a clean ace, and they will win game 2. All of the teleports to come forward as now Khan is walking the wrong way, but maybe it's the correct one as they pick up the kill on the Twisted Fate. They knew the man advantage was coming in, and he puts himself in the right position to capitalize. Can't make the big play. Can't into the backside though. He'll be able to do it. Locks down Scout before he can do anything, and Ghost grabs the kill onto JJ. And this is the team fight that Damwon Kia have been looking for all game long. Flandre goes down as well, and Mako, he's running for the hills, but he's not going to be able to stop. But the Nexus is exposed, and Damwon Kia will move to match point in this series.
Unfortunately for ShowMaker's team, EDG were determined to go all the way and wrestled the final 2 games out of Damwon's grasp.
Your 2021 League of Legends World Champions, Edward Gaming.
I don't think it was about Damwon Kia necessarily being figured out. It was more about them being tested for the first time and EDG being tested for the 3rd time. And they were pretty good at the exam by then, you know?
After Worlds, a few of the players' contracts, including ShowMaker's, were up for renewal. And for a short while there, it looked as if all of Damwon, swayed by the force of their defeat, might go their separate ways. After their 2nd place finish at both MSI and Worlds this year, 3 of the 5 players who played in those tournaments ended up leaving the team. But ShowMaker and Canyon returned to try and make history once more. Whether the roster shuffles do the trick is, of course, yet to be determined. For now, ShowMaker's quest to overtake the GOAT remains a work in progress. A work he could complete by showing us more of the sort of player that he is.
One of the smartest, sometimes also the most selfless mid laners that we have in the LCK, and a player that's so capable of analyzing a situation and making the smartest call whilst also having extraordinarily fast hands.
One thing's for certain though, ShowMaker has become a generational mid lane talent, and he's not slowing down. But in order to be mentioned in the same breath as true greatness, there's still a mountain for him to climb.
Faker just kept doing it year after year, and I think for ShowMaker, he still has a long career ahead of him, and we won't really be able to tell. I think if he won this Worlds, then we could start having the conversation, but he didn't, so gonna have to postpone that for at the very least another year.
We haven't seen that, I think, in a long time since, you know, Faker made his way up, and that was in a different time, right? Like, being able to make that transition from solo queue god to professional League of Legends mid laner that can consistently find advantages and victories, that is so hard to do, because they're like solo queue and pro player, very, very different beasts. But the way that ShowMaker so beautifully managed to transition into the player that he is today is something that needs to be spoken about.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit us up on our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.